So yeah, I'm basically Y Combinator at this point. Maybe you saw some of my past videos and they were all about Web3. Now we are gonna move to AI, so that's why the YC reference. I didn't change my opinion about Web3. Still think it's a huge thing, it's gonna be a huge thing. But if I have to bet on what's gonna be bigger in, let's say, 2030, I would comfortably say AI over Web3. That's not just my opinion, it's YC opinion as well. So, and beside that, every other big VC right now. What I want to do today, let's get the fluff. I want to show you my vibe coder setup. I've been vibe coding for a while now. I think it's 6 months. And in 6 months for a regular field is like 6 months. But for AI, it's like 6 years. So in this video, I just want to share with you all the softwares I use, some extensions, some MCPs, all this kind of shit. So let's get started. First of all, my IDE of choice, as you can see, is cursor, and I have quite a peculiar setup. I have the agent here with O3. Then now basically they cut the price of about 80%. So now it's actually usable. It's not gonna cost you a kidney. I have the files on the right. I have Augment code on the right as well, and the Ruby extension. But let's go step by step. First of all, why cursor over, I don't know, windsurf? Because cursor is better. So maybe windsurf has some more features, I guess, but I've been finding cursor more reliable, and it has Claude models when they release. So for now, I think I'm gonna stack the cursor, but I tried them all basically. I tried windsurf after I try. I think Zed is the last one I'm missing, but there are a shit ton of VS Code forks. So as I was saying here, cursor with O3, it is basically like a mastermind. So it does PRDs, that are product requirement docs, and it gets me unstuck when I'm in a shitty position. The other thing is Augment code. This is an AI extension that has been getting quite popular lately. This is super fucking powerful. The main feature, or better, the main USP of Augment code is its code indexing. So for that, it's best in class. So what does it mean? It knows what your code is, what it does, where the code is, etc., etc. So so when you need to do, for example, surgical cuts, or when you need to do like big refactors, I always go to Augment, and not only the agent mode that is pretty similar to the cursor agent mode, but also to the remote agents. Basically, they are async coding agents. That means that they run in the background, they spin their whole VM, and they just implement shit on their own. I will show later, either this week or next week, the main async agents that we have. I think the main one right now are Codex, that is from OpenAI and use a tweaked version of O3. Gemini, that has jewels and use the latest Gemini 2.5 Pro. And Augments, that I think use a mix of Anthropic models. So, but there are a ton more. For example, the new GitHub one, or the one that's Anthropic made in collaboration with GitHub, but that one I think needs Anthropic API credits, and everything that needs Anthropic API credits will make you broke. So I'm not using that right now, and I think that's the same thing for the debug bot that Cursor released on their 1.0 stable version. So yeah, it's a no-go for me as right now, because I don't want to go broke, basically. But we didn't talk about the elephant in the room, and that's Cloud Code. So LCD, or Cloud, if you don't have the alias, of course. Cloud Code is a fucking powerhouse. So this is the main driver in my AI coding right now. As you can see, it has MCPs, of course, out of the box. MCPs were made literally by Cloud Anthropic. What does this do? This is an agentic coder that can spin workflows in parallel as MCPs out of the box and can do a shit ton of stuff. I will put here all the tools that it has out of the box. The one that it doesn't have, you just add it through MCPs. Some MCPs sometimes don't work. I don't know why. They just don't connect, even if it does authorize. So, but wherever. What are my MCPs right now? I have Contact 7 that is made by the same company. I think it's Substash. Basically, it's a huge database of updated documentation. Every time the AI doesn't have a specific thing from documentation in this knowledge cutoff, then you just go to Contact 7. Convex is one of my DBs. DeepWiki, it's made by the same company that makes Devin. It is basically a GitHub indexer. Like it gets stuff from GitHub. Docker Gateway, we'll check it later. It's a bit complex. Exa is just Exa. It's a search engine basically. So it's like Perplexity, Brave Search, all of these things. Linear, it's linear. Magic is the MCPO 21st Dev. That is my favorite choice when it comes to a UI components. And I think that's it right now, but the Docker Gateway has more MCPs. So this is basically a connection with my Docker that you can see here. That if you go to extensions and you go to MCP toolkits, basically Docker enables you to add all the MCPs that it has in its registry directly here. For example, some of the one I have is Firecrawl is one of the best scrapers. Notion, that's where I store my notes. Perplexity, that is another search engine. And Playwright, that is basically a browser automation tool. So instead of, let's say, I have a UI and I want to make it similar to an image, instead of copy pasting a never ending amount of screenshots, I just tell Cloud Code, use Playwright, do your magic, and it's gonna do it alone. It's basically a closed loop. So you just go here, and also this is amazing because it spins the MCP servers on its own and stores the keys securely, because 3 out of 4 of those MCPs needs private keys, Firecrawl, Notion, and Perplexity, and it just adds it. You can add it directly on Docker, and they're gonna be private. You can add it to wherever client you want, Cloud Desktop, Cursor, wherever those two are, or you can just add it to Docker MCP Gateway run. Other things that are super, super cool about Cloud Code, first of all, they implemented plan mode. So you just do Shift Tab 1 time to auto accept edits, Shift Tab 2 times to use plan mode, can replace stuff like Taskmaster. I still didn't try it, but I know it's pretty popular, but I think that at this point there is even no need for that on Cloud Code specifically. Another very, very cool thing is you can have global commands that are basically prompts templates you can use with Cloud. So the main one out of the box is /init, and it will create a cloud.md that is local to this project, but that you can commit. If you want something that you don't need to commit, you just create a cloud.local. So basically you do /init, is gonna read your entire code base and is gonna understand, well, what's the stack, what are the features that you already have, etc., etc. For example, let's say I want to create an app. I'm just gonna say bank create better T stack. That is the latest one I'm using right now. Test web stack convex turbo repo. No. Ban. Yes. So you have the project here. Just cd there. Test. And we can just do /init here. And it's going to start understanding what's the tech stack, what's the project made of, etc., etc. Fast forward. So now we have a cloud.md, and this is going to be injected in every prompt you do. So every time you ask Cloud some question, it's going to take this as well as context. So try to make it as concise as possible. Other cool commands, if you wanna start fresh, you just do clear. If you wanna keep the current history, just do compact. You can have custom prompts that you pass to Claude. For example, I have this one that is about context, or the one from design, for example. So you do slash design in my case, and you have the prompt here. So it's fresh in Claude's context window. I will put on screen the command you need to add both MCPs and a custom prompt on your global. I think it's the user scope of Claude. So you can have it wherever you want. Let's see other cool things I have. Let's go to my ZH thing. I have the FAQ installed, the Zoxide. That's basically it. So it's not that much. Zoxide is for faster director navigation. EDSA is just an elastic replacement that is better. FZF, a fuzzy finder. So it's basically a better finder. And the fuck is just an alias. Here you can put, you install the fuck, you select an alias here with the, for example, I put a TF. So let's say, for example, I wrote this like this, but I spelled like now. I say the fuck, and it gives me the commands. So it's pretty useful. The fuzzy finder is just @zf, and you have all the files here, and the EDSA is just EDSA. So it's basically ls. And I think that's it for this video. That's just an introduction of what I have in my workspace, but if you want specific videos on specific topics, let me know. One video that I want to do pretty soon is the one about async agents, because they are pretty good parts of my workflow as well, and they are pretty interesting. Another one is gonna be probably on code review, like code writing versus code review, because usually when I push a PR before merging it, I literally have like 3 or 4 different assistants that tells me, look, you messed up here, 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 here. So that's also a topic that I want to go as well. So I think that's it for now, and see you soon.